Headwaters is different because it's a different kind of community.
There's an idea that people could get together and respect and love each other, and that could be consistent with a really good, well-rounded education.
Teachers actually want to be with teenagers and students wanting to come to school for the love of learning.
People's eyes open to education when they come to a place where they're excited about learning.
What if we expected kids to participate fully in their institutions instead of the institutions doing school to them? What if there was an expectation that kids contributed to making that institution function?
The best learners are learners who understand how they learn.
I want to know about this, therefore I am present, I'm engaged, and I want to hear, and I want to learn, and then I want to be able to talk about it.
Our spring has a spring constant K of 450 newtons per meter.
I've always really loved math and science. Physics is super cool. Learning about how these numbers work, and I'm like, wow, the world all fits together like this. Kelly Jane's the teacher. She's super passionate about it. And I really think she inspires some of that passion for me. It inspires some of that really wanting to be there and wanting to connect all these dots of the world.
Government and economics, it's not like reading from a textbook. You get to actually see and hear about how such a large part of our life is affecting human beings. One day every week we do this simulation of real life where we have to handle our own finances, and there's a student-led government.
Y luego, si tienen otra, con una segunda opción, queremos escuchar.
When we started looking at the IB program, we found that the values and the pursuits of IB really aligned with what we were doing.
They're pushed to express themselves, they're pushed to think, and they're pushed to declare themselves an individual and taking ownership rather than just being walked or babied along in their education.
So the International Student Program is really valuable to Headwaters School. Students are building relationships with people who come from different cultures and who have a different view on the pressing topics that they're exploring.
The classroom doesn't have to end in the physical boundaries of the classroom, and neither does this campus.
Cities are cited as being one of the greatest inventions of humankind. Why wouldn't we approach it as a classroom?
With our campus being right downtown, we have so many resources that are within walking distance of our school.
For artists, cultural food, Recreational Creek, it really gives you the opportunity to apply what you're learning in classes and what's important to you to the real world while you're still a high school student.
Why would I want to be sitting in a classroom at a desk taking notes when I could be learning about government at the state capitol?
We can have an impact. Youth can make a contribution to the health and the welfare of the city.
Act 3, Scene 1 and 2 summary over here. One of you, please. Why don't you walk us through what happened?
I think of my students not exactly as peers, but I think of them as equals. They're morally equivalent to me.
I see it as a collaboration between the guide and the student.
At Headwaters, we're a lot closer with our teachers or guides, and we actually call them all by their first names. It just creates a space to get to know them as actual people.
The guides create a really open atmosphere for people to talk to them both during class and after class.
It's like talking to a close friend.
Today we are going to do a little clear chair followed by something else.
Advisory in the high school, it's kind of the cornerstone of our student support program.
It's kind of like a little bubble in the school. We can talk about our personal life and kind of what's going on with us.
We are striving to provide them with an academically rich experience, but at the same time, we're keeping a focus on their social and emotional well-being.
They're whole people. They have hopes and dreams, and strengths and weaknesses.
Figuring out who you are is such a big thing.
Socially, I think we develop a culture of understanding and courage and being your authentic self.
We invite and expect students to be active, engaged participants in setting culture, climate, norms, expectations, and tone of how this place operates.
I really value being able to voice my opinion to the administration.
At Headwaters, there are a lot of ways that you can get involved with our community.
I'm on admissions council, where we handle shadows and interviews, and we try to find people who really genuinely want to be here.
Let's go ahead and debrief. First of all, let me get some feedback on what we did today.
We have a chance at the end of every class for the teacher. He's like, what'd you think about that? And we call it debrief. So we debrief the teacher on what we liked about that class, what we didn't like, and like often it's like a thumbs up or a thumbs down.
You can get what you want out of your classroom-based learning.
They feel that much more committed because they see me taking their feedback and implementing it.
For the first time, they're looking to their future and what's next for them. One of the things that we really do best is really support the kids and their parents through what that process is like.
When they leave us, wherever they may go next, their voice matters and they know how to take action. They know how to impact the environment and the culture. They're fearless and respectful about those systems.